The world of finance, industry, and national security has just experienced a quiet earthquake, one that most people haven't even noticed yet. The United States government has officially reclassified silver as a critical mineral. Now, at first, that might sound like a dry bureaucratic update buried in some government report. But in reality, it's a game changer, a turning point that affects not only investors, but also the future of energy, technology, medicine, and even defense. This decision has sent ripples across the globe, ripples that are turning into waves. And today, we're going to dive deep into why silver's new critical status matters so much, what it means for governments, industries, and everyday savers like you, and why the story of silver may just be entering its most important chapter yet. Before we get started, if you're finding this kind of content valuable, I'd really appreciate it if you could give this video a quick like and share it with friends or family who are interested in the big changes shaping our world. It helps more than you know, and it keeps these conversations going. Now, let's get into it. For the first time ever, the U.S. Department of the Interior has included silver in its upcoming 2025 list of critical minerals. To give you some perspective, that's the same list where you find copper, lithium, and rare earth elements, materials that are essential to modern economies and vital to national security. But here's the important part. Critical doesn't just mean important. It's a designation that says in no uncertain terms that if supply were disrupted, America's economy and security would be at risk. Think about that for a moment. The government now officially sees silver not as a shiny coin or a decorative metal, but as a strategic lifeline. And the rest of the world has noticed. Saudi Arabia's central bank, for example, recently revealed positions in silver ETFs worth about $40 million. That's small change compared to their oil wealth, but symbolically, it's powerful. Meanwhile, the BRICS nations, China, Russia, India, and others, have been stockpiling silver since last year. It's not just investors looking at silver now, it's governments. Why? Because silver is unique. Unlike most commodities, it plays a dual role. It's both an industrial powerhouse and a monetary hedge. On the industrial side, silver is indispensable. Its properties are unlike anything else we've discovered. It's the best conductor of electricity, it reflects light better than any other metal, and it has antimicrobial qualities. In real-world terms, that means silver is at the heart of some of the most important technologies of our age. Solar panels, which need silver for their photovoltaic cells. Electric vehicles, which rely on silver in batteries, wiring, and components. Semiconductors, the brains of modern electronics. Medical devices, from wound dressings to surgical instruments. And yes, even defense technology, where silver is used in advanced weaponry and communications. The clean energy transition alone is pushing demand for silver higher year after year. And remember, this is happening in a world already facing supply deficits. But silver is also money, or at least it has been for thousands of years. In times of crisis, inflation, or currency debasement, silver has always been a safe harbor. Unlike paper money, it carries no counterparty risk. You hold it, you own it, and no one can simply print more of it into existence. This dual identity is what makes silver's new classification so profound. Governments want it for their industries, and investors want it for their portfolios. That kind of demand convergence is rare, and historically it's explosive. Now let's talk about supply. Here's where things get tricky. In 2024, global mine production produced about 820 million ounces of silver. Demand, however, hit 1.16 billion ounces. That's a gap of over 300 million ounces, a shortfall that recycling alone can't fix. And this isn't a one-off. The deficit has been growing year after year, quietly eating away at above-ground stockpiles. Believe it or not, there is now more gold above ground than silver. When demand outpaces supply this dramatically, and governments suddenly elevate a resource to critical status, what usually happens? Prices surge. We've seen it with lithium, we've seen it with uranium, and silver is now in exactly the same position, except its market is much smaller, which means any wave of new demand could have an even bigger impact. And the smart money is already moving. Billionaires, sovereign funds, and private investors are quietly securing their positions. Take David Bateman, a technology entrepreneur who recently allocated nearly $1 billion into precious metals, including over 12 million ounces of silver. To put that in perspective, that's about 1.5% of global annual production, snapped up by a single individual. His reasoning is blunt. The world is drowning in debt, and governments face refinancing challenges that look nearly impossible. In such a climate, precious metals aren't luxuries, they're lifeboats. Which raises a question I'd like to hear your thoughts on. Do you see silver more as an industrial necessity or as a monetary hedge? Or maybe both? Let me know what you think in the comments below. I really enjoy reading your perspectives. It makes these discussions much richer. So what does all of this mean for everyday investors and savers? First, silver offers protection and diversification. If you already hold gold, adding silver brings balance at a lower entry cost. And because it has both industrial and monetary demand, it tends to move in ways that give it a unique edge compared to other assets. Second, there's the question of how to invest. Many experts argue that physical silver, coins, bars, and allocated storage is the most secure way to own it. Why? Because it removes middlemen and counterparty risk. Coins like the American Eagle or Silver Britannia are easily recognizable and liquid. Bars, on the other hand, often carry lower premiums. ETFs and mining stocks can offer leverage, but they also carry risks tied to markets, custodians, and even governments. At the end of the day, owning silver in your name, something you can hold in your hand or safely store, is what provides peace of mind. Now, here's where the new US classification changes the game even further. By labeling silver as critical, Washington has unlocked new tools: federal subsidies, Defense Production Act provisions, and government stockpiling. That's right. The US can now legally buy and hold silver for national reserves, just as it has done with oil or rare earths. And history shows what happens when governments start stockpiling. Copycat behavior. Others follow suit. Demand spikes immediately while new supply takes years to develop. Prices don't just rise gradually, they leap. This is why silver's moment in the spotlight feels so different from past rallies. It's not just investors speculating, it's governments, billionaires, and industries all converging on the same resource for very different but equally powerful reasons. And the road ahead? It looks set to be defined by silver. As the world pushes toward renewable energy, electrification, and advanced manufacturing, silver becomes even more essential. Its role in defense and medical innovation only adds to the urgency. And geopolitically, with China dominating refining and other nations scrambling for supply, silver has turned into a tool of leverage. For private investors, this is one of the last windows where silver can be acquired at prices that do not yet reflect its new role. Once momentum builds, the market could shift quickly. So let's bring it all together. Silver is no longer just a shiny coin in a collection or a decorative metal in jewelry. It's now officially recognized as critical to the future, critical to technology, energy, defense, and security. Governments are moving, billionaires are moving, and the market itself is already facing chronic shortages. The US decision to reclassify silver is not just a bureaucratic note. It's a warning shot, a signal that silver's true value is only beginning to be understood. And for you, the question is, will you recognize that before the rest of the world does? If you enjoyed this breakdown and found it valuable, please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss future deep dives. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.